Yo, what's going on, guys? So pretty much in this video, I just want to compare different LA-3A clones to my DA-3A from AudioScape and just see how the mix would turn out if I would use something different other than my hardware. So it's pretty much just a comparison video, pretty much plugins versus my DA-3A. So pretty much what I ended up doing was I kind of used each plugin in the sense of how I would use it in a mix. So pretty much I didn't match the same exact settings. What I ended up doing was I just was like, okay, if I was going to use it in this mix, how would I use it and how would it turn out? So they all kind of have their own different character, but I think they all pretty much sound good, especially because I didn't use the same settings. I just kind of was like, let me just use it how I would use it in a real mix. So this is before the DA-3A.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
And this is with it.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
Cool, sounds good, right? Sounds good. And all I pretty much did with the DA-3A, I have the gain around like almost like 8, and then I have the peak at 7. Everything down here is pretty much just default. The only two knobs that I'm touching on my DA-3A is those two big knobs, and that's it. So yeah, I think it sounds good. Pretty simple breakdown, nothing too crazy that I did. All right, so pretty much let's just hear this DA-3A and let's play the audio of the CLA-3A from Waves. So this is bypass right now, but let's let the DA-3A play.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
And then this is with the 3A from Waves.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
Both sound really good. I think both sound really good. I think they both kind of add their own character. The DA-3A just, again, it's always going to give it that more warmth, that depth. I think just hardware just does something that plugins always make a vocal shine. That's what I realized about any of the plugins. They just shine, like, except for the last plugin that I'm going to show you. I feel like that one, it gives you a lot of glue, and it does give you like an analog feel, but it's nothing wrong with the 3A. I feel like one, it's cheap, and two, it's going to give you a good sound. So pretty much for what I did with this mix was just go around 6.68 in the gain, and then 6.20 in the peak reduction, and that's it. I didn't touch anything down here. All right, so let's turn back on the DA-3A really fast, and then we're gonna go ahead and compare it to the LA-3A from UAD. So let's again hear the DA-3A, and I'm only showing you this just so you don't forget how the DA-3A sounds compared to the plugin.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
And this is pretty much with the UAD LA-3A.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
Now if you see what I mean, I think this gives you a feel of analog, because I know how analog sounds, so this is close to it. I feel like it kind of gives it like a bottleneck kind of feel. It's something smoother about that DA-3A to me that get that sound, but it's still smoother. But yeah, so all I did with this was went to almost 8 on the gain, and then 6 on the peak reduction. So you see that for me to get different results or how I would use it, they're all going to be used differently, but they can kind of achieve almost the same thing, but they all sound different. So even though they all emulate the LA-3A hardware, they all just sound different. So comment below, let me know out of these 3 compressors, which one are you going with? And yeah, let's just go ahead and play with the DA-3A. Let's just play with it and see what we come up with. So right now I'm only using the left side. I wanted to use it in mono because it just gives me more consistent results, especially with vocals. When I'm using it in stereo, sometimes it gets a little tricky with me with vocals because I'm panning things to the left and right. So I just kind of like to use it in mono. So if I'm using this for like hybrid mixing, I'm usually printing out the vocal and then I'm bringing it back in and then I'm mixing into it. Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm using it in hybrid mixing now. I guess it's not hybrid mixing because I'm printing it and then using it, then I'm not using it anymore. So let's just go ahead and play with the settings and see what we just come up with. Let's have some fun.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire. Couldn't copy a day in my life, I thrive through the pressure. Lessons, pain, I'm in too deep, but my faith gon' keep me afloat. Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire. Couldn't copy a day in my life, I thrive through the pressure. Lessons, pain, I'm in too deep, but my faith gon' keep me afloat.
So you can pretty much tell I'm like pretty much getting all the compression out of this, and it still sounds really smooth. I got like 9 dB of gain, and it just still sounds good. I usually don't compress over 5 on this certain compressor, even if I'm recording. If I'm mixing, I usually just don't go over 5. Usually that's how I mix. Let's just do light compression and just kind of play with it and see what we can do. So let's do like a 1 to 3 kind of compression.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it, now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire. Couldn't copy a day in my life, I thrive through the pressure. Lessons pain, I'm in too deep, but my faith can't keep me afloat. Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it, now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
So I actually kind of like this one a lot. Like whatever setting this is right here is pretty much just going 6.5, 6.5, very even Steven.
Could have been on the block with a gangster, switched it, now in a formal attire. I got ties with a higher power, praying on locking the life I desire.
AudioScape is always coming out with quality. I'm looking at some of their other gear. Comment below what gear you want me to test out and just want me to compare to other plugins or just give my own review. So yeah guys, that being said, I hope that this helped you find the right LA-3A kind of clone when it comes to plugins, when it comes to hardware. These are the only 3 LA-3As I would use. If it's any other plugins that kind of emulate that, comment below, because I don't know any more besides these 3. And these are the 3 that I use. So I was like, let me just show you the ones that I use, you know? So yeah guys, make sure y'all smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already.